Morning, guys. Today I want to give you guys a little bit of a review about this mega attachment that I picked up last week. Give you guys a little bit of information on it, how it works, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. So far I've used it. Definitely I've used it. I have moved logs with it, brush piles, dirt, giant boulders, little boulders, tiny rocks, about 5.5 yards of mulch, sticks, twigs, bushes, weeds. I've used it. This mower has absolutely no problem pushing it either. Pulling it, going up hills, down hills, no problems whatsoever. As you can see, from the point of this to the very front of the mower, you're talking about 2.5 feet is how far it sticks out. But just to right here where it supports, it's actually not that far. You're talking about a foot and some inches maybe. So if you're in tight spaces and you're not really sure if this is going to work for you, just to let you know, just by pulling up on these two pins right here, these pins stay in too, by the way. You don't pull them out and risk losing them. You pull it up, you turn it, and it locks into place, and those two bars just slide right out, and then that's free to move around however you want to use it. You want to throw it in the back of your truck when you're hauling it, or maybe you want to just stand it up and then push the mower up, you know, just save yourself like a foot and a half or whatever. You can do that as well. The big difference between this one and then the CartMate that a lot of other people might go with is one big reason why I chose this one is because this one doesn't have those two extra wheels on it, and it seems a lot sturdier. If you ask me, that CartMate just seems like it's very wobbly and it's shaking all the time, and they have those, like, there's a lot of pins in them when you want to use them for pretty much anything. It does fold up, so that is one thing that this one doesn't do that one does do, is it'll fold up like the CartMate will. This one will not. But like I said, most applications, I would say, when they have this on, it's because they need it. They're going to use it. I'm not just going to leave this on there all the time so that when I'm mowing people's grass, like, I have it. Like, when I need it, I need it. When I'm doing mulch, I need it. When I'm not using it, I'm taking it off, I'm putting it away. So when you have those CartMates that fold up, I mean, they're way up in the air. The CartMates are going to go 2 feet, 2.5 feet past, you know, where you're pretty much right in your vision. So that's one bummer thing, is, yeah, it'll save you some space, but the only reason why a CartMate would fold up to save you space, you know, that would be like, why have it even fold at all? Just so you can use it like while you're mowing, but then it's going to be in your way. Like, you can't see. Like, there's no point in even having a stand-on mower at that point if you're blocking all your front vision anyway. Also keep in mind, this one's only $1,300, and yes, the welds on it, I've already looked at all of the welds. It's phenomenal. It holds 300 pounds. There's no bolt on, nothing is screwed into the mower, nothing is, like, there's no holes in the mower. It's simply supported by these 4 bolts, and those are, like, clamped onto the front bar, and then it has this black bar you can see right here that kind of uses leverage that goes under the sidebar right here on the mower, and then that sidebar right there on the mower. And as it's sitting on there, it's pulling up, and as it's got support from the front and right here, so that's why it's able to not have any front wheels in the front, which is awesome, because I didn't want those big ugly orange caster wheels. Like, I don't want wheels here and there going through people's yard. Like, I'm not trying to drive a semi through someone's yard. So 2 less wheels is going to be really important for running over stuff and digging over stuff. And another huge thing that people don't understand until after they've already made the purchase, one, this is definitely much higher in the air than the CartMate. The CartMate's going to be like way down. Some of you were like, well, I don't want that. you got to think about when you're pulling up to beds and you're dumping mulch, how far over can this thing actually go? Because yesterday when James and I were using it, this was amazing because we were able to pull these front wheels on the mower all the way up to the edging line, and then this thing would still be hanging over and not pouring mulch. Like after we dumped it, it's not pouring mulch over the other side of the edge. With the Cartmate, you have wheels like right underneath it, so when you fill it up and you go to dump it, also it's only 8 to 10 inches off the ground. When you go to dump it, the mulch, this thing is not going to go all the way, or it's going to go all the way and the mulch is going to come flying out of the edging on the bed that you're dumping the mulch into, or into the edging or over the edging, and then you got mulch all over the grass, but you want it in the bed. So with this one, like I said, James and I, we were able to bring the mower right to the edge of the I'll give you guys an example. I'm trying to explain it, it's kind of difficult. Now my beds are not that big, so imagine my mower, the way I have it set up, I would be able to bring the mower wheels right up to this edge and then dump that thing over if I wanted to. Now keep in mind, I only have like a 1.5 foot bed, so it's not really ideal for my setup, but it'll work. You just got to make sure your loads are small so you're not blowing it all over the place. But like I was saying, I would be able to bring my mower right here, so that dump would literally be able to go all the way to my deck. But if you had the Cartmate, it would have to stop here, and you'd be putting your pile like 6 to 8 inches past the edging, and then it's going to mound up, and then that's going to fall over into the grass. So as soon as you back the Cartmate up, that mound is going to go over the edging, so then you have to clean all of that mulch up that's laying right here. Ideally, you would want to drive farther and farther and farther and farther into the bed and dump somewhere around here, you know what I mean, so that the mound of mulch is right here. The 300 pounds of mulch is somewhere in this area, so then you could just rake it to the edge, and then you're not pouring anything over right here. And I know some of you are like, well, that doesn't really sound like a deal breaker. Imagine if you had 200 feet of edging and all in front of the edging was just mulch, because it fell over, it keeps falling over. That's terrible. Also, a couple things that James and I ran into yesterday was when we were dumping the mulch, sometimes we couldn't tip it all the way forward because it wasn't high enough in the air. So the mega attachment it'd be sitting like flat like this, and then we tried to tip it and it would stop like right here. Instead of going all the way up, it would just stop like somewhere around here because it wasn't high enough, and it was actually touching the mulch on the ground, which was stopping it, so we had to back it up and then tip it some more. Now when I say it wasn't high enough, keep in mind this thing is way higher than the Cartmate, way higher. Some instances, yeah, so there were some occasions where this thing wouldn't tip all the way forward because there's a a huge pile right here that would stop it, and then James and I would just have to back up just a little bit, and then it would fall all the way forward. Now imagine you had a Cartmate and this thing was down beep 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 beep, because with the Cartmate, the top of this is down here, so you have minimal clearance to tip that thing forward. So that was another big thing. What else? I think the Cartmate is like $2,000 or $2,200, something like that, some ridiculous amount. Like I said, this one's $1,300, holds 300 pounds. It does have these little slots that you can easily build like a little one. You can go to Home Depot and Lowe's, Menards, whatever, and you can get like boards and just make tiny little fencing, almost like I did right here on my truck. But just imagine these boards are like, you know, they're like 1-bys. But then you make a couple of these little supports, like I think it's three on the side, 3 in the back, and then you got little walls. And you would do that because you could put leaves in there. This thing holds a lot, It's hard to tell just by the camera. But for those of you that know how big a 61-inch Stander ZK is, yeah, just compare the, I mean, this is a full-size huge lawnmower that it's as big as, you know, the Skag V-Rides, the Toro Multi-Force and stuff like that. These are pretty much the same size. And then look at the attachment. Look at how big it is. It's massive. This thing holds a ton of stuff. We used it like crazy already, and I moved a whole bunch of wood that was in my backyard too, like 2 cords of wood, and I was filling this baby up to like overflow, filling it. But yeah, $1,300, mega attachments. I think it looks cleaner. I think it looks nicer. I think it looks better than 2 big orange ugly wheels shaking and rocking all over the ground. That is another thing, is it's got ground clearance. So if you need to go over something like we were talking about earlier, the edging, or if you need to go, you know, if you need to go over the side rails of your utility trailer, like if I didn't have all this stuff here parked right here, if I didn't have all my crap right here, you could easily push that, you know, over the front. Like you could have this whole part right here pushed over the front. You wouldn't have to have, you know, you wouldn't have to lose some space. But I love it. It's strong, it's durable. I told James maybe 30 times the first day we used it how much I loved it, because it's just so solid and it looks so good. It's such a great investment. Those of you that use wheelbarrows on a daily basis, or you use them often and you're looking to upgrade, it's an option I would highly recommend. And they fit on tons of different mowers. That dump attachment, again, it's $1,300. And when I was looking at them and doing reviews and checking on stuff and seeing what people liked and figuring out what would work best for me and James, I hate to bash people, but the Cartmate just looked flimsy. It looked like it was just shaking all around, and it just looked like it wasn't made well. And I know the guy says in his videos that they're very strong and they hold up and they do great, and they showed lots of videos of them carrying them around and stuff. But like, I didn't like the orange wheels, I didn't like the caster wheels, I didn't like the fact that you had to hold 2 more wheels. So instead of driving on someone's yard with 4 wheels, you're now on someone's yard with 6 wheels. I just didn't like also how you had to like pull a whole bunch of pins out just to fold it up, and then you got to put the pins in. Like, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. But the mega attachment, it eliminates the mega attachment. It eliminates those wheels in the front, which is awesome. And they're not orange. It's not sticking out as far as you guys can see on the mower, in those pictures, or as you can see on the mower. On a Cartmate, it sticks out like another foot and a half more, but on this one it's more compact and up inside the mower, which makes it really nice. Is it worth the $1,300? Yeah, I would say it's definitely worth the $1,300 if you have work that requires, you know, if you're using wheelbarrows a lot. I would definitely look into it. And I know that they make them for the Skag, John Deere's. They make them for a lot of people because they've been around for a long time. I was actually about to buy a Cartmate, and then I seen this one and I was like, this just looks way better, more compact, closer to the mower, and it's cheaper. It's $1,300. The Cartmate, I think, is like $2,000, $2,300, something like that, unless you get the really small chintzy one. I wouldn't say chintzy, but it's just a lot smaller. And there's like one wheel in the middle. But the only thing that some people could say the Cartmate has over the Mega attachment is that it folds up. But like I already explained earlier, to me that just doesn't make any sense. Like, if my attachment's going to be on my mower, it's because I'm going to need to use it. So I don't care if it folds up. And people say, well, it'll save you some space. It could save you a good foot and a half, you know, depending on how your trailer setup is. Like if you're absolutely crunched for space. But one thing I can tell you is that Mega attachment, it slides off and on that tractor, that lawnmower very easily. So if you are crunched for space, pull it off and then stand it up right in front of that mower. Park the mower and stand up the dump or the attachment. Just stand it up and then do what you gotta do. And then when it comes time to when you need it and you're coming to a job and you need it, just put the attachment back on. It's 2 pins. It takes literally like 30 seconds. It's not crazy. It's not that hard. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Also, some awesome news for the channel. If you've made it this far in the video, we almost have 500 subscribers. We are 3 subscribers away from 500, which is awesome, you guys. I appreciate the love and I appreciate the support. The support, it means so much to me. It helps me continue to make these videos. Without you guys liking the videos and commenting on the videos, I probably wouldn't even be still making them at this point. But you guys have been showing so much support, and I love doing this for you guys. I love showing you guys what it is that we do, and hopefully it'll help you guys. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't seen my latest video, check that out also. Any questions whatsoever, just leave me a comment down below. If you have any suggestions ever about any of my videos, please, I am all ears. I love to learn. I learned 90% of what I know from other people on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Peace.